Have you guys heard about the Jewish women's Taliban cult? These people are crazy. They have their daughters walking around with their hair covered in public. Can you believe that? I mean, really, that's not even an issue. These women are publicly walking around like ghosts with their faces covered. Is that nuts or what? And what about these Jews who are prostrating? What is this? What do they think they are? Muslims? If you think the fact that Muslims have similar practices and therefore these practices can't be valid Jewish practices, then I have the following questions for you. Number one, are you a Sephardic Jew? Are you a dark-skinned Ashkenazi Jew? If so, how do I know you're not really a Muslim? Number two, do you sometimes rock back and forth as you're studying your sacred literature? You might be a Muslim. Number three, are you circumcised? You might be a Muslim. Number four, you might be a Muslim if the first words out of your mouth in the morning are words of praises to God. If study of the Arabic language should be important to you for learning your religious texts in the original language, you might be a Muslim. Or you might be a Jew who wants to study the Kuzari, or Duties of the Heart, or Emunot V'De'ot, or the Rambam's commentary to the Mishnah, or Moreh Nevuchim, or any of several other ancient Jewish texts which in the original language are written in Arabic. You might be a Muslim if you cover your hair, but not your neck. Not every single Muslim woman covers her neck. You might be a Muslim if you get asked, do you shower with that on? If people think you're extremists for abstaining from physical contact with the opposite sex, you might be a Muslim. Do you also abstain from entering into seclusion with non-family members of the opposite sex? If so, that's a problem. Why? Because you might be a Muslim. You might be a Muslim if your day consists of 5 prayer times grouped into 3. You might be a Muslim if you wash your hands 3 times before you pray. Heck, nowadays in an airport, you might be a Muslim if you simply pray. You might be a Muslim if you require special certification that your food is acceptable according to religious law. You might be a Muslim if you only eat meat which was properly slaughtered and during which God's sovereignty was proclaimed. Hey Yosef, do you frequent restaurants known for falafel, hummus, shawarma? Oh no, he might be a Muslim. Do men and women celebrate separately at weddings you attend? If so, you might be a Muslim. Do men and women sit separately during your prayer services? You might be a Muslim. Or you might be in a mosque. Jewish men out there, listen up. When you're on an airplane and you're wrapping your tefillin, and people look at you suspiciously at those little strange black boxes on your arm and between your eyes, and the black unidentifiable straps hanging down from your head to your waist, and they're thinking, this guy might be a terrorist. You know what else they're probably thinking? He's a Muslim. Do you have a beard? Definitely a Muslim. Does your rabbi have a beard? Watch out. He might be a secret Muslim. If your heart's desire is to worship the one incomparable God and to obey His commandments, you might be a Muslim, or you might be a Jew. If this so-called reasoning that Jews shouldn't prostrate to God, as is our ancient practice, or that Jewish women shouldn't also cover their necks and be more careful with modesty just because Muslim women are known for doing so, even though this is also the historical practice of Jewish women, well then I hope from this video you realize that if such reasoning as this is valid, then basically we really shouldn't even be Jews, because such reasoning would essentially mean that we must refrain from doing a huge percentage of what it means to be living as a Jew, since such a large percentage of Jewish practice is so similar to Muslim practice, as I hope this video has made clear. Considering the socio-political outcome that has resulted from constant focus on the old news that there are differences between the Muslim and the Jewish religion, can't we take a moment to appreciate for once the even greater number of similarities in our convictions and noble desires? If obsession about minute, sometimes even fabricated details of our differences has had such a negative impact on our peoples? What might be the outcome if our respective religious leaders stop being afraid to acknowledge the even greater number of shared principles and practices that unite us in our devotion to the God of Abraham? Subhanallah. Shabah la al-hayy wa-qaiyam.